have this General Electric model F15A1, if I remember right. 8-inch, I guess, versatile fan. I guess a lot of people refer to these as TV fans, which I get it because it looks kind of like a TV. Yeah, picked this thing up a little while ago surprisingly for $4 at a local store. It was pretty gummed up. I oiled it. I'm actually ready to oil this thing again here. Get around to it today because it's starting to make some noises. I mean, this thing might even have a motor issue. I'm not sure because it's kind of starting to make a buzzing sound, which we'll listen to it in a little while. I don't know. This thing's more or less. I don't run it much. It's more or less just a display item for me. I mean, it works. Yeah, and it's way better shape than I actually have another one of these that was not in this good shape. This thing still does tilt, and you know, at the back, it's got this kind of GE motor. I believe it's ball bearing. But yeah, it's from what I understand, these things have paper in between the windings or something that goes bad, and I haven't gotten around to actually taking the motor on this thing apart because it's just one of those things you gotta take the time and do it. It's something I have to do when I actually have the time to take, and do it. It's not as simple as just typical other box fan motors. I am gonna get around to just getting some oil into the front and back bearings of this as best I can. Gotta go find my spout oiler, but there's a switch. When I found this, the switch was pushed in. It wasn't. I had to take the grill off upon servicing this fan and move the switch. The switch is kind of split in half. The housing where it's like split in two, where it wraps around this back part. Plastic. I think this fan dates to like late 50s, early 60s. I believe there's an earlier version of these that actually had a complete metal caging, which would be a lot cooler to find. Yeah, like there was I think that was a model that was directly before this. This was when I guess the 60s started making plastic fans. They were one of the early plastic constructed fan, but these blades are made of aluminum. They're pretty they're thick. They're not as thin as like a Marvin window fan's blade, which those most people know those bend easy. The Marvins have really thin blades, but I love Marvin fans. But anyways, yeah, this has the I think the GE Quiet blade. If I'm remembering right. Like the Quiet Cool blade or some kind of model like that. It's got a Venturi ring, which is metal. Which I'm not too big a fan of Venturi ring fans. I think, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I just think they kind of hinder air movement somewhat. I love the metal bladed. I love the non-shrouded metal box fans. But anyway, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, this thing works it's pretty good. There's a badge for it. And I got model information. Let me carefully tilt this thing. Plastic on this though it's pretty thick. It's not it can crack pretty easy, I guess. It is, yeah, category F15A1. Cool, I think I remembered it right first. One thing I didn't fucking fail at, I guess. 110 volts, 50 cycles. Oh, just 50 cycles. Yeah, these were made back when, I guess, standard current was 115 volts as opposed to 120. Yeah, go ahead and plug this thing up. Got the amp draw meter. Cord on it, non-polarized, typical GE style cord of this era. And these start out on low, so here's low. spindle of this fan is incorporated with this rubber grommet that sits on the shaft, and I think that could be what could be slipping, so possibly just not making this fan run right. It runs right, I guess, but there's this, and the motor is starting to develop a little bit of a sound. Sorry. And high speed. Yeah, that little squeak kind of indicates to me I think the motor shaft could be slipping on this rubber grommet. I don't know why they designed it like that. They could have just made a shaft or the spindle of the blade hose. I don't know. They could have just made it like fit on there. On the box. A little quirky design, I guess. Still a pretty good fan. Good air movement. Unfortunately, this fan doesn't have any startup sounds or anything like that. It's pretty quiet. It's pretty instant kick on fan. Like they press it and it just goes. All right, let's fire it back up on low, and we'll do the see what the amperage draws real quick. Just haven't been having good times lately. So. Took it up to high. 1.1 is. So it's not really drawing too much over spec or anything. 91 watts. I mean, I guess it is a little high, but it could be drawing a little bit up there, but I don't know. There's something going on. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one.